Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So the new MacBook Pro lineup has been out for quite some time now, a couple of months. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are very much eager to get their hands on these new devices. But the question is, which one should you get? So today we're going to be talking about this model. This is the base model 14, and this is the one with the binned M1 Pro chip with 8 CPU cores, 14 GPU cores, 16 gigabytes of unified memory, as well as 512 gigabytes of storage. So yeah, this is technically the most affordable one, but it is still by no means cheap because it starts at a whopping $2,000, and that is a lot of money. So if you were wondering if this model is worth it to buy, I suggest you keep watching, but honestly, I'm gonna answer it right now. I think it is. I think it is more than enough for most people. So yeah, should we end the video here? But of course, it's gonna depend on your own personal use case. Like I use this to edit videos for my YouTube channel, as well as a lot of productivity tasks because I am a college student in this pandemic. So yeah, a laptop is pretty much essential no matter what course you're in. So let's get started. So I chose to go with the 14-inch over the 16 because I think 14 is the best size for productivity laptops. I mean, the extra screen real estate you get over the previous 13 models is quite noticeable. You get a lot more screen, but you don't sacrifice the portability, which is perfect. And I actually wanted to return this initially because I wanted the bigger display of the 16 because the display is gorgeous, and we're gonna get to that. But yeah, I'm really glad that I didn't because the portability of this MacBook is invaluable. Now let's go ahead and talk about the brand new design because it is thick. It is a lot thicker compared to the previous MacBook Pros, and that's because they've added so many wonderful things in this device. So yeah, the design language is brand new. It's a lot more flat, a lot more squared off compared to the tapered design of the previous models. So they went back and they prioritized usability over sleekness. They returned ports, which everybody freaked out over, myself included. They returned MagSafe charging, which is great. So with the base model, you get the 67-watt power brick over the 96 or 97-watt charger, which would have given you the 30-minute half charge. But yeah, that doesn't get that. But this still charges relatively fast at 40 to 45 minutes. So no complaints there. If you don't have your MagSafe charger, you can use any of the Thunderbolt 4 ports to charge your MacBook like you did before. You get 2 on the left side, and you get a headphone jack. Now, I'm not an audiophile, but I read that this is a really good headphone jack because when you plug in very premium headphones, you don't need to plug in an audio amplifier. So that's going to be great for music producers, audio engineers, all that good stuff. On the right side, you get HDMI, so that's great for like plugging in for presentations. You know, you can just directly plug this into the TV. You don't have to bring a dongle with you. You get another USB-C port and the SD card slot, the creator favorite. I mean, it's really nice not to have to find your dongle when you want to transfer files. So yeah, let's open her up. Another new thing about the design is their keyboard. They have that black on black thing going on, which I am just such a big fan of. I think it looks so good. Obviously, they got rid of the touch bar. They put in a full row of function keys alongside a much bigger fingerprint sensor. Now, I didn't hate the touch bar, but I do have to say that it is nice not having to tap and then drag to adjust anything. Now, the typing experience on this is really good. Key travel is great, very comfortable to type on, and the new scissor keys have a nice tactile click and feel to them. No, they are not like a mechanical keyboard like Apple stated, but it still feels really good to type on. So the trackpad is still huge. You know, I don't really have much to say about the trackpad. Apple is well known for having like the best trackpads on the market. And yeah, it's great, it's huge, it's really easy to use, and it just makes navigating macOS so much better than a regular mouse. So on the sides of the keyboards, you get the speakers. Now, this is also another thing that Apple is known for, just having the best laptop speakers on the market. And I have to agree. I had a MacBook Pro 2017 and I never had any complaints about the speakers, but these speakers are amazing. Like they're so good. Like what? It was the first time I was ever taken aback by laptop speakers. I was trying to look for a song for my unboxing video, so I was just like this, and I tried playing a song and it just sounded so rich. I was literally like, whoa. It sounded so good, and obviously it's going to be hard to convey that in a video and show you how good it is, but let's give it a try. Next up, we have the display, and it is insanely gorgeous. So this is a Liquid Retina XDR mini LED display with Pro Motion. Wow, what a mouthful. And it's another thing that's really hard to show you how good it is in a video, because you're just gonna have to see it to really understand how good this display is. But yeah, I mean, like, I could throw around words like it has 1000 nits of sustained brightness, 1600 nits of peak brightness when you're watching HDR content. It has a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, yada, yada, yada. It's beautiful. The best way to summarize it is Apple sells this really, really expensive monitor. It's the Pro Display XDR, and it goes for like $7,000. It's insane. But basically what they did is they put that monitor into the new MacBook Pro lineup. They subtracted the 6K resolution, but they added ProMotion. Now, ProMotion is Apple's way of saying high refresh rates. So it goes up to 120 hertz, but it's an adaptive refresh rate. So it isn't always at 120. It depends on what you're doing, and it's my first experience with ProMotion, so I do have to say that it is nice to see how smooth everything is, like navigating macOS, but not all apps support it just yet. So one thing we'll talk about briefly is the notch. So honestly, like right out of the box, I did notice it, but immediately I couldn't care about it less. I mean, like, it's there, I don't really mind. And now after 3 months of use, I really don't care about it. I barely notice it's there. I forgot about it. It's just there, you know, and you get a 1080p webcam because of it. Okay, so this is what the 1080p webcam looks like. And honestly, it's not that great, but it is still a decent upgrade from the previous 720p webcam. So yeah, this is gonna be great for online meetings, online classes, all of that good stuff. Also, the audio that you're hearing is coming from the microphone in the laptop. So yeah. Okay, let's talk performance. So this is a like real world use case. This isn't gonna have any benchmarks or anything like that. And when I talk performance, it's mostly gonna be video editing, because that is mostly what I use this for. So yeah, I use Premiere Pro, which isn't the most optimized for M1 Max, but it is the one that I use, and in my experience so far, it's been 100% better than my Intel MacBook Pro. And I've watched reviews where people say that this model can just barely handle 8K video and all of that stuff, but let's be real. Nope, not a lot of people shoot 8K videos, and the people who do own like cameras that can shoot 8K raw, stuff like that, probably won't be looking at the base model 14 or 16. Now let's take a step back and ask if this can edit 4K videos. And in my experience, yes, it handles it flawlessly. I've had no problem with Premiere Pro. Everything is 100% smooth. I'm even able to play back everything at full resolution, which is something I couldn't do at all with my Intel Mac. I would always have to set it to 1/4 of the resolution, and even then it was pretty sketchy. So you'll be able to import your files, to editing the actual timeline, adding effects, adding a color grade, all of that, and exporting it flawlessly and silently. Like, I can't stress that enough, because just importing large files simultaneously on my previous MacBook, that would get it to crash. Like it was that bad. So editing multiple layers of 4K is not a problem on this machine. As well as export times, it exports pretty quickly. I think 12 to 15 minute 4K videos takes about 3 to 5 minutes to export. The longest I've ever had to wait was 11 minutes, but that was for a 26-minute 4K video. So yeah, it does it pretty well, I would say. This is amazing for video editing. And again, I use Premiere Pro, the least optimized video editing app for this MacBook. So if you ever want to go above and beyond 4K, I suggest using Final Cut or DaVinci Resolve. So I think this was really the only thing that really disappointed me with this laptop, and that was because of Apple's claim that it would last an insane amount of time, like 17 hours. Now, I actually thought that my MacBook was broken because it would only like hold a charge for about 4 to 7 hours while watching The Office, but yeah, it turns out that there has to be a specific setting for that to happen. Like you would have to go 8 clicks down of brightness. You'd have to turn off your Wi-Fi and just a lot more settings just to reach that kind of battery longevity. But yeah, is it bad though? Honestly, it ranges on what you're doing, but I still think it's much better than my Intel MacBook Pro because it doesn't last 17 hours, but if you're doing light tasks, it would last a day, maybe even the next. But if you're doing more professional tasks like video editing, that's definitely going to be cut. I would say this can go 4 to 7 hours of video editing, which is actually pretty amazing because considering my old MacBook, I would only have like an hour of unplugged video editing time. So final thoughts, we're at the end of the video, and is it worth it? I answered this already in the beginning, but yes, I think it is. I mean, if mostly what you're doing is creative work and you're not editing like 8K videos, then it is perfect. Like it just works flawlessly. You get an amazing screen, you get amazing speakers, you get great port selections. It's super powerful and it's super portable at the same time. It's just great. And you get all of these amazing features with the base model. Like you don't have to splurge. The only thing and only difference really is the bin chip, but according to reviews, I mean, the difference isn't so big where you have to spend the extra $300-$500 to get that extra performance. Now about the storage options, I did get a lot of comments saying that I should have gone at least 1 terabyte of storage, which I understand. But honestly, I'm fine with 512 gigabytes. I've been able to edit 3 videos on this, and it's still, all of the files are still here. It's not full yet. It's fine. I mean, I think people have forgotten that Apple used to sell their MacBook Pros with a 128 gigabyte SSD for their base models, and then it went up to 256. So I'm totally fine with 512 gigabytes. And in terms of saving money, I mean, it's a $200 upgrade to get 500 gigabytes more. What I did is I bought a 2 terabyte external SSD for pretty much the same price. But if you can afford more storage, more internal storage, then yeah, go for it. Yeah, that is pretty much that for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, please leave them down below and I will try to answer them as best that I can. But yeah, I am very much happy with my MacBook. So far, don't regret it. So yeah, like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me at biancamikaehla, and I will see you in the next video.